What's up guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we are checking out the TS style hood in carbon fiber fitting all 2016 through 2023 Toyota Tacomas. If you are in search of a way to transform the appearance of your Tacoma and of course get some functional performance benefits in the mix, this is going to be a great way to do it. Not only will this be perfect for the Tacoma owner that wants to add a more aggressive, sporty feel to their truck, but also wants to accomplish a little bit of weight savings for their build and bumping up their heat extraction at the same time. Now, the biggest feature here is the sporty look with the carbon fiber weave, the multiple heat extractors on the side, and that hood scoop right in the middle. Now, all will come with a mesh screen to prevent anything from getting in, and of course to add a finished appearance that's going to promote better airflow getting into the motor and allowing more space for that heat to escape, in turn keeping your motor cooler to run more efficiently. Now again, this is also much lighter than the factory hood that feels like it's made of lead, which should significantly reduce the weight savings on the front. Great if you're conscious about your gross weight, whether it's for general weight savings or off-road purposes. This is made of a high quality 3K 2x2 twill weave carbon fiber fabric with a gloss finish on top for a sleek and finished appearance. Now the carbon fiber won't just be lightweight, but it's also tough and heat resistant, so it's not going to trap heat unlike the stock hood would. Now underneath of the hood, this will have a fiberglass skeleton bonded to the hood for additional strength. The mesh will also come pre-installed on the hood scoop and the heat extractors, but you will need to swap over your factory latches to maintain an OE fit and function. I do also want to note that we would not recommend any hood struts with this, considering it's much lighter and it can crack the carbon due to the extra pressure, so just keep that in mind when you're looking at mods for your truck. This will come in at roughly $1,900, which is pricey, but very average for a full carbon fiber hood. Now, carbon fiber is a super high quality material because of its weight to strength ratio, being incredibly lightweight, but strong to hold up to mostly whatever it encounters. Now, it's also an aggressively styled hood compared to other factory style options. So if the quality, look, and overall function is what you're looking for out of this hood, and you have that extra cash to make a solid investment, then this is going to be a great pick for you. Install will be a lighter 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about an hour or so. I would recommend to have an extra set of hands on deck just to help you get the hood in place. However, it's very light, so it's super easy to do that. Now at this point, we can head over to our shop, check out a detailed breakdown, how you can get this onto your Tacoma at home. So that is going to wrap it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
Tools required for this install include a drill, a 3/8 drill bit, a ratchet, flathead screwdriver, scissors or diagonal cutters, some zip ties, an alcohol prep pad, a double-sided tape stick-on zip tie clip, and 12 and 13 millimeter sockets. What's up guys? Today we're installing a hood on our Tacoma, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the line for our washer fluid. We have a join right here. We can pop the passenger side off and then pop it out of the 2 clips, and that'll be enough just to have it disconnected when we pull the hood off. And then you can just pull it straight out of these 2 clips, and we'll lay that off to the side for now. Next, we're going to come to our hinge and loosen up our 2 bolts. We're not going to pull these all the way out yet. We're going to do this on both sides, and then we're going to grab a buddy and we'll thread them out the rest of the way by hand and remove the hood. So I'm taking a 12 millimeter socket to loosen these up. And then do that same thing on the other side. So now I've got a buddy here to do the other side while I remove the bolts here. I'm going to get this up off the hood prop first, and then we can remove those bolts and get it out of here. Now before we install our new hood, we're going to have to remove our washer lines as well as our spray nozzles from our factory hood. So So you're gonna grab yourself a flathead screwdriver and we're gonna get in on the sprayer side to release the tab to pop those out. So now you can grab that flathead screwdriver and we're gonna go right underneath of our sprayer and just poke around until we release that tab. And then with that popped out of place, we're gonna twist the hose to loosen it up. Pop that off. And then we can pull the hose out the back and do the same thing on the other side. And now with both of our sprayers removed, we can pop these out of our clips and remove our whole line. So now we're ready to start assembling our new hood. Now we're gonna do our washer lines first. We have these 2 holes that our nozzles are gonna go into. However, on the back, we don't have anything to run our line through. So I've got a drill with a 3/8 inch drill bit. We're just gonna line up a hole straight with the cutout for the sprayer nozzle and drill a hole on both sides. So now we're just gonna come to the sprayer hole here. We're gonna go straight back to the inside of the hood and make our hole. So we've got that 3/8 inch drill bit. And now we'll just do that same thing on the other side. And now we can grab our washer line and feed it through the hole. And then run it out the hole for the sprayer nozzle. Do that on both sides. And now we can attach our sprayers. So first we're going to slide the tube onto our fitting. Might need to pull a little bit of slack from the other side to do that. And then we're gonna put this clip that's going towards the front of the hood underneath the lip. And then we'll press that down into place. And then you can fish your line out of the other side. Slide that on, slide the tab under, and then clip that in. And you can pull your excess slack back out. So now we're ready to mount up our new hood. I've got a buddy on the other side to help me line it up and get our bolts installed. We have new bolts with lock washers and flat washers that are going to be going into the threaded holes in our hood. And now we can go back and tighten the bolts on both sides. Now you're gonna wanna line this up and get it pretty good before you tighten down your bolts. The best way I found to do this is to fully hand tighten these on both sides. And then you can lay your hood down, make sure it goes into your latch smoothly, make sure your body lines are flush in the back, and then have you and a buddy pick it up without trying to move it and tighten down the 2 bolts. So we'll take a 13mm socket and tighten these down. And then do that same thing on the other side. And now we can take our washer line and hook it up to our fitting. So now we just need something to secure this washer line to our hood to keep it out of the way, make sure it doesn't get pinched. So for this, I'm gonna be using these double-sided pads. These are gonna stick onto the hood, and then you can run a zip tie through here to secure it. So in order to stick these down, I'm gonna take an alcohol cleaning pad just to clean up the surface and make sure we get some good adhesion. And then we'll just wait for that to dry, and then we can install our pads. So now I'm gonna peel the double-sided tape on the back of the pad here, and then stick it down. And I'll take a zip tie and run it through, get the line in between. And I'm just gonna tighten down the zip tie just enough to hold it. You don't wanna pinch this and make any restriction in here. And then you can take a pair of scissors or diagonal cutters and cut off the excess of the zip tie. And then I'm just gonna do one more over here. Peel the pad off. Stick it down. Run the zip tie through. And once again, just tight enough for it to hold.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of the TS style hood in carbon fiber, fitting all 2016 through 2023 Toyota Tacomas. And you can find this, of course, right here at extremeterrain.com.